Moved her out here. Apartment, car.
We were literally at an audition 2 weeks ago, and your phone is going off 10 times because she needed you.
Josh would say, I'm needy.
I'm just hoping that she wants me for me personally, not for what I have.
Awesome! So, we need to talk about Natalie on this new episode of The Single Life. So let's get right to it. Natalie's segment on episode 6 starts with us watching her go out to eat with her mom. Natalie is just over here casually living her Hollywood dream in LA. Everything is going pretty much perfectly for her. She has an apartment, a car, a potential job, maybe, and a pending audition. I mean, life's looking pretty good for this wacky lady. She's doing great. She's enjoying eating with her mom and even decides to FaceTime her ex, Mike. He picks up the phone right away.
Hi!
And their interactions are friendly and normal. And this is all actually really freaking weird, right? I found this all to just be so bizarre for so many reasons, especially Natalie just casually talking to Mike, her ex, that she is still married to, who lives in another state. She is not divorced yet, they are still just separated, and yet we also witness in these last few episodes that Josh, not Mike, had helped Natalie get this apartment on the beach, and he had even supposedly bought her a car. This car has to have been rented. You cannot convince me otherwise. I mean, we know that Josh loves to rent cars, and they tried to act like Josh bought her a car out of kindness. We all know that this woman is so needy. This was not an act of kindness. This was more of an act of, please take this car and stop asking me for rides all the time-ness. But anyways, my point is that this unhinged woman has two guys making her oh so wonderful dream happen in LA right now. And I can't help but feeling both impressed and slightly outraged. I mean, she's just sitting in this restaurant, living her dream. She's also sitting with her mom, who her ex Mike brought over to the US for her. Mike doing that was an act of kindness. I get why he did it. This was a unique situation. He got Natalie's mom out of Ukraine and she is now safely here in the US. Thank you, Mike. But Mike did that, not Natalie. She just picked her mom up from the airport and moved on to the next guy to drain some life from. We know that Mike was paying for Natalie's place in Florida, even though he was living across the country, but then Natalie impulsively moved to LA to be with Josh and move on from Mike. Josh somehow, even though they were barely dating, got guilted into not only helping Natalie with an apartment and a car, but he also got her an interview for a job. That went terribly. Natalie got this opportunity to get a real job and truly support her and her mom on her own, but she showed up unprepared with no resume.
This is the first interview I've done with one, no resume, and two, where part of the interview is about my cousin Josh. It's weird.
And if anything, she seemed to just expect to get the job since Josh's cousin was doing the interview, because she was so uncomfortably awkward in that interview.
If I were to talk to the people that know you the best, what would they say?
Josh would say, I'm needy.
I am more convinced than ever that she's really just an alien trying her best to act like a human. I mean, look at her and her mom smelling the food. They're like, let us pretend to enjoy this earthly human sustenance. Mike and Josh are the ones who had made this life happen for Natalie. She hadn't really done anything to get it, just guilted people into getting what she wants. I just find this so ironic, especially with the interview scenes, because of how many times she has talked about how educated she is and how low-class Mike was when they were still together.
A low-class drunk man.
Whoa, what makes you better than anyone else? You say everyone's low-class and this. Please explain this to me with your high IQ.
That low-class drunk man helped her get the life she wanted in Florida and got her mom safely to the US. And now she has moved on and is leeching off of this guy. Josh, of course, saw an opportunity of being with Natalie. I mean, now he's on TV. So this leeching was more of a mutual leeching, but it did seem like Natalie's guilting was starting to wear Josh down a bit. Like what happened with the whole apartment thing.
We were able to waive me as a guarantor by putting a little bit more money down. We gave him a lump sum.
I guess he really did throw in some money to help her get an apartment, but part of what he says here doesn't make any sense.
We gave him a lump sum.
Okay, so who is we? Because Natalie says she has no money coming in. So that's Mike helping, right? That we has to be Josh and Mike. Like, do those two talk now? Maybe that's where Josh is going all of the time. Josh just calls up Mike like, hey man, Natalie just moved to LA even though we aren't even really dating. And she's so annoying and constantly trying to get me to drive her around. So I did get her a car. Can I come crash with you in Washington every other week to get away from her? And Mike's like, yeah, sure, but only if you help me pay for her apartment. I guess the we could be her getting money from the show, but they really acted like she had zero money coming in and no way to pay for an apartment. And even though Natalie is over here guilting Josh into helping her and her mom, Mike is still technically in the picture right now. He even agrees to come meet up with Natalie and her mom for lunch, almost 1,000 miles away.
Bye.
Even Natalie looked surprised that the conversation went so well. But Natalie is still keeping Mike around for a reason. She's not all just crazy eyes and bad extensions. She has a plan. My theory is that Mike has been helping her still financially in some way. And also, I think Natalie has Mike as a backup plan because she hasn't fully completed her Hollywood dream mission yet. I mean, Josh seems to be getting worn down slowly, but they still aren't even exclusively dating. And we all know that Natalie's final goal is to get a ring and a baby. And I think she's keeping Mike around just in case Josh doesn't cave and do that. Which, I mean, we all know he's not going to. You would think that Natalie, with her high class and that high IQ, would realize that. So these next scenes in this episode are Josh talking to his friends about his relationship with Natalie. And even though this is the most staged meetup ever, and Josh seems to just be practicing his acting skills, I think most of us know what this is setting up for. It starts with Josh's friends first complaining about Natalie being too needy.
Your phone is going off 10 times because she needed you to find her a ride somewhere.
Right.
It's like, come on.
Yep, that explains getting her a car. And now I'm thinking he really helped her with an apartment just so she wouldn't camp out in front of his house. And as much as this is staged, I believe that this is really a true problem that is really happening. They are acting like Josh is getting used by Natalie, which we know that's going both ways. But yeah, it's true. I mean, on top of all of the things she has leached out of Josh, she did also get that horror movie audition. I mean, that scene of her reading Shakespeare almost made me die of cringe.
По улице ходят тени. Не пойму, живут или спят. Прильнувши к церковной ступени, боюсь оглянуться назад.
But she really is perfect for a horror movie role in so many ways. So they are really acting like Josh is just being taken advantage of in this scene with his friends.
You're a smart man, you know what I mean? Like, I think you're purposely wanting to be dumb on this one.
Whatever. But this is all really to set up the fact that yes, Josh may be helping Natalie out, but he's not going to give her what she fully wants. The last part of her Hollywood dream mission. And what she wants is a proposal and a baby. And he is 100% not going to give her either of those things. So cue Mike, still being a backup option. And yes, bring him here many miles away to have lunch because Natalie's mom likes him.
Michael is gonna be forever #1 for mom.
We know that Mike does come out to California after seeing a preview of Natalie and Mike talking. And then, oh so surprising, this is going to put pressure on Natalie to try to guilt Josh into marrying her. Even though she is technically married still.
Sapa and Shekinah want to remind you to subscribe to the Kiblz channel. If you don't, Sapa will appear and give you an exotic AI-generated dance.
That motherfucker is not real! And there's a clip at the end of this episode of what is still to come on the season.
I am genuinely sorry, and
you weak.
We learned a whole season ago that Josh is not with Natalie for marriage or a baby, but that doesn't mean that Natalie won't try her hardest to guilt him into it. Bring on the tears. I almost think that this plan of hers could have been genius. She got everything she wanted in Hollywood, except the marriage and baby. And at one point, she could have gotten those things from Mike. But I don't think that she ever really wanted it from Mike, at least after she got to the US. But now she does want it from Josh and can't get it. So my prediction is this. Just like how she was done getting what she wanted from Mike and left, now once Josh breaks the news that he did not even really ask her to move to LA, and no, he won't marry her, she will be done with Josh. Maybe she will still try to use him periodically for Hollywood-related stuff, but she will move on to the next guy she thinks she can guilt into giving her everything she wants. This is her pattern. She was with someone before Mike too. But we have all learned that Natalie's strategy is not working for her. She will just keep skipping on to the next guy until she realizes she needs to take care of herself on her own. And then maybe, just maybe, she can finally get that marriage and baby she's always dreamed of. She is getting in her own way, she's expecting too much, and she will never be happy unless she finds a way to be happy on her own. So basically, what I'm getting at is Natalie thinks so highly of herself that she's probably going to be on the single life for many more seasons. Let me know what you think about this episode, of Natalie, of Josh, that weird interview, that cringe dinner monologue, and I will see you in the next video. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!